Hello my friends, it's Maddie of the Girly Geek, and today I'm coming at you with a December plan with me video. I've really been in love with my happy planner this year, so I thought it would be the perfect time to start doing some plan with me's and showing you guys my process. Okay, so you're probably like, the perfect time, it's December mate, but I do have a happy planner for next year as well, and I will be continuing this, so there's no problem there. So I start the process by pulling out all my supplies. I take the pages out of my happy planner and I get the sticker books that I'm leaning towards using. For this spread, I wanted to use the Planner Babe sticker pack because that is a fairly new one. I'm obsessed with the colors, and it also has some fun travel related ones, which is really useful as I will be going overseas during this time to visit my family during the holiday season. So when I'm choosing the stickers that I want to use in my spread, I have a little bit of a weird technique, but I basically take out the stickers that I want to use, looking at colors and things like that, and I just stick them roughly onto my little book stand. I don't stick them on properly, but just put them all together onto my book stand, as you'll see in a second, so that I can really see the colors together and if they complement each other, and have a look before I actually put them down into my planner. So I spent some time flicking through multiple sticker books. In this one I used the Pastel Brights, the Planner Babe, the Encouragement, and also a bit of Essential Planning. So here we have what I dug out from that first little scavenge of stickers. I usually just go through and find the main big functional ones or also decorative ones that I want, and then I go back through for sprucing it up a little and actually filling out the spread. So as you can see here, I'm starting to play around with the stickers that I chose, the big ones, and their layout. Obviously, as I said, I'm traveling, so I did put the flat one down in the relevant spot, and also one of those packing list ones, which I think will be really helpful, even though God knows that is way too short for how much you need to pack for an overseas flight, right? So at this point I'm just messing around with how I want the stickers to be laid out. I kind of have a rough idea in my head of how this week is going to look, because that is the week leading up to me traveling. There are a lot of things I need to get prepared, things I need to do. So I have a rough idea in my head already of what needs to go down before I leave. As you can see, after I put down those main big stickers, I start to fill in a lot of spaces with some more decorative ones or more specific banners and things like that. In this spread, I am going for a bit more of a layered look, as you can tell by where I've placed most of these big rectangular stickers. I used to stick very closely to the boxes that are provided, but I have been going outside of that more because I do find it makes spreads much more interesting to look at and much more fun, which is obviously a big bonus. So in this part you can kind of see I'm just sticking through those sticker books that I've got, looking for quite a few more decorative ones to fill up some of the blank space, but also ones that are still relevant to what I'm doing during the week. As you can see here, I pulled out a little doctor's appointment one that I'm going to use as well, and then a couple little more quotes and little illustrations as well. By this point I've got most of the big things down. I'm just looking for things that'll help play it up a little bit and help it not look so empty, and just looking to make it more interesting really. So at this point I'm just adding in a couple of finishing touches, a little bit of decorative items. I've honestly never realized just how much time I spend flicking through sticker books, so for your sake I have sped it all up. And here I am just putting the final finishing touches on this week's spread and filling in the important things I need to do before my trip back to Manila in the Philippines, which is where my family is from. So leading up to travel, it's not a lot of fun stuff, it's more like boring adult stuff. I need to get started with my packing, I need to organize all last minute gifts for Christmas, and some travel necessities like toiletries. I also need to charge all my devices such as my headphones, power banks, etc. Prepare some of the videos and the editing that I want to go up just before I leave, which is my next December plan with me, the more Christmassy themed one that will be going up during this week. And then I also need to go see my doctor, pre-take some Instagram photos, and also just contact my bank. Just boring adult stuff, you know? So I'm just writing all of the specific things out in my task lists and specific, instructions for myself. I do leave quite a bit out, obviously, just for privacy's sake. I don't want to broadcast that on the internet. But for the most part, I'm just going in and telling myself specifically exactly what I need to get done so I can have a little bit of discipline in my life. Also, there's just nothing worse than the chaos and insanity of having to do things last minute or procrastinating right before you leave on an overseas trip. That's the absolute worst time to procrastinate, so I am trying to eliminate that as much as possible and keep myself in check. As you can probably see, I just did a little bit of fun lettering to spruce up a little bit of the page, and then I'm just going in and writing a little bit more of my tasks for the week, and then this spread is for the most part done until I put in the specifics and narrow down the other things that I need to do. So here's what that spread ended up looking like when I put it back into my planner, just to kind of visualize it properly. And then I started to move on to the next week's spread, which would be the week that I am in Manila already. So it is hard to know what I will be doing exactly on each of those days. I have rough ideas of events and things like that, but for the most part the day-to-day is fairly unknown to me, so I made sure to just keep some spaces to fill things in here and there. So I started off by using this pastel kind of washi tape from the Brights Mega Value sticker pack, and then putting in some of the things or some boxes in the dates that I did know I had something going on while I'm on my trip, and then finding another couple blank ones or boxes to fill up the space so that I can write in as I go while I'm on my trip. As you can see, I'm kind of just going through my sticker books and choosing the main stickers that I want to use. A lot of them are boxes and a couple of decorative ones here and there, but I'm just going through and picking things that are fairly adaptable to whatever I do end up doing while I'm away. I'm not particularly sticking to any sort of theme in this spread. I think it turns out looking a little bit, all over the place, but I do like that I stuck with certain bright and pastel colors. It just wasn't easy to fully commit to a theme when I truly have no idea what's going on most of the days. I don't know if that's a factor for anyone else, but that kind of just left me feeling flustered. This is where I kind of discovered those bright pink metallics in the Mega Value sticker pack and thought it would be a fun time to use them. They don't exactly fit in that well with the spread, but it's all about having a pop of color here and there, and it looks fun, so I'm not too pressed about it. I was just using them to spell out, obviously, Manila. I was going to write in lettering with my brush pen under it, like Manila trip or something along those lines, but I did end up finding a pretty appropriate sticker to place under it a little bit later, which you will see in a second, that says adventures. So it's not much of an adventurous trip, but it's still new experiences every day outside of my normal life, so I thought, why not? Here I'm just fidgeting around again with a couple of colourful boxes. Those are what I'm going to use to fill out what we end up doing each day, since I don't know what that will be. And now I'm just looking for a couple more accents to kind of spice it up and keep it from looking too sparse. That's where I added in the adventures under Manila, and I think that looks pretty cool, if I do say so myself. And I also just grabbed a couple more circular stickers to kind of help the page flow and pop in some random sparse spots on the page. And I just went ahead and tried to adjust any of the stickers that I didn't really like. I wasn't really feeling the one that had previously been in that spot earlier, so I swapped it out for a couple different ones and then settled on that pink box with the rainbow underneath and this nice little circular quote that kind of matches the one on the other page to add a little bit of symmetry. Then I just went ahead and filled in a couple of personal things, like the day after we arrive. I want to obviously take it a little bit easy as travel is very hard on the body. And then some of the other very few concrete plans I actually know we have in place for our trip. And then that is where I ended up leaving the spread for now. And these are the two spreads together. They're both fairly bright but not too cluttered, and I'm fairly happy with how they turned out. Now all I have to do is bring it along to Manila with me with a pen and fill out what we do every day so I can keep track of my memories. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to. I have a December plan with me coming soon, the next part, which is my Christmas theme spreads. So I really hope you stick around to see those. Bye!